I have Rahul. So there's three main segments we're covering in this. One is we want to understand you as a person and Techquity as a company. The second thing we want to cover in this is what is your views on AI? What are the trends? What do you think about the trends? Things like that. And the third is hackathon specific. So what do you think about a hackathon? What are the problem statements that we're tackling? Why are we tackling those problem statements? Etc. So those are the three main segments.
Great. Perfect.
Cool.
I think three very, very important and interesting set of questions. So we'll start with my introduction.
Yeah.
Right? So for those of you who don't know, I'm Rahul. I've spent like half a decade, pretty much most of my career, building machine learning systems and ML teams, and across various problem statements, various surface areas, right? And the core understanding or the core aspect of all of this has been fundamentally systems have changed, right? Like you had your deterministic systems, and once it is possible from a compute perspective to be able to do deep learning, machine learning at scale, it changes the way value add is done, right? So I spent a good chunk of my early career in building deep learning systems and computer vision for OCR systems, face recognition systems. This is powered like upwards of a billion KYCs and onboardings in India and above, right? So that's my background. I love to work with problems that deal with machine learning systems and deep learning systems, and now in part with some large language models as well. With respect to Techquity, particularly when we were looking at the market, our core hypothesis has always been that what it takes to get an idea from an ideation stage to a product in market and taking that a product in market to product market fit. We have done this so many times. When I say we, it's me and the other co-founders. We have just done it so many times that we have made all the mistakes possible, right? So by sheer rule of elimination, I think we have understood the nuance of getting, understanding the power of an idea and how it translates to speed of iteration and getting it to market. And once we're in market, rapid iteration, feedback cycles, feedback loops, putting enough observability, there's like loud feedback and soft feedback, getting all of these metrics onboarded really quickly, working on those metrics, improving the product and getting to a stage where it's product market fit, right? So we work very closely with a lot of founders to enable them to do this. That's one side. On the other side, we particularly focus on bringing agile, deep technology solutions, right? So deep tech, as you would call it. We work with large companies, your unicorns from India, etc., to solve a vertical problem, which is like very deep tech. We come in, we figure out the problem statement, we figure out how to solve it, get the solution out, and we work with the org to actually scale it from there. So that's what Techquity does. And my primary role here is to build fundamental teams that are able to drive these changes in outcomes.
I think you answered all of the questions before I had a chance to ask them. So amazing. So I think then we can directly move into the second part of it, which is AI currently. So in your eyes, what is the most interesting thing that's happening in AI at the moment? And why do you think it's the most interesting at the moment?
Amazing. So I just want to go back to an experience that I had earlier. At around, I think, 2019 end or 2020, we found the GPT-2 open weights model. And at that point, I remember like distinctly telling some of my back then colleagues that if there's a step function increase from here, the world is going to be a very different place, right?
Sorry, can you explain step function?
Oh, cool. Step function increase is, it's essentially things grow linearly. When you talk about step function, it's like here and then it's next here, right?
Got it.
So just one jump in technology progress from here would just take this technology leaps and bounds. Right? And I fundamentally believe that. And realization in 2020, when GPT-2 came off, when they did the entire transformer architecture, like there's this intuition, or call it gut feeling, that okay, if there's a step function increase from here, the world is going to be very, very different. So the reason I mentioned this is that there's a lot of hype around, AGI and super intelligence and all of that. I think there is a path to all of that, but I'm not. What I'm more interested by is the progress that's already come into play. Right? It's just fundamentally increased productivity and increased a lot of has unlocked a lot of potential in the existing stack itself. Think of your back office. Like, do you even like we ourselves, all of us have like gone up at least 20-30% in productivity in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
So of course the models, the next token prediction as a foundational model itself will keep getting better and better. But I feel the place we are at today itself, it's unlocked so much that the industry will take a lot of time to just catch up, and all that productivity is just going to get unlocked.
Do you think so? You said that productivity is already gone up by a huge extent. Do you think the productivity going up has hampered the creativity going up? Like, do you think that is something that, because I see that happening in my daily life, but do you think that is something that's a general statement?
I generally feel it does tend towards that direction. Yes, creativity. So creativity is it's freedom, right?
Correct.
Freedom from doing something and then just scratching it off and starting to do something else, right? On that end, yes, be it code, be it interactive design, be it a lot of areas, the time you spent to scratch and like start over is like very low. So now I could like spin up entire code bases and then just scrap it if that idea just doesn't work. So I feel that gives me enough confidence to go after the long tail problems, go after the ones, the hunches that I wouldn't have done earlier because it will take 2 days, right? So from personally, what I can say is that like just the creativity is just increased a lot because I'm trying more edge case ideas a lot more because I just have the breadth to be able to play around with like 6 different experiments, juggle all of them. Like it's okay if like 4 or 5 of them just don't work out, but I'm able to do 5 of them in parallel, whereas before I had to focus on one at max 2. Actually, indirectly creativity is just going to spike a lot.
Got it. Fair enough. So, what is one thing that you think currently is the most unexplored space in AI, which you think that more and more people should look into exploring at the moment?
Interesting. So I feel there are two segments, right? I
Okay.
think, like we discussed some time ago, there is, even if progress in terms of language models and all of this stops, there's enough pipeline for at least half a decade for people to bring in a lot of economic productivity, right? Let's not even touch that area, right? There's like so many things you can explore. Even on the other end, right? There are ways right now. Most of the LLMs that have come out are autoregressive models, which are which go in sequence, right? Like the input is given with a masked this thing, and they're trained, and it's autoregressive. There are different approaches that you can explore. I think we should think orthogonally and see if there is a better architecture than the next token prediction. Is there a world model? Is there a 3D model of the world that you can use that can run much better, right? I like how Google's VO engine, the video
VO3, yeah.
generation engine. I feel it's just so fascinating to me that just looking at training samples of videos, it's understood the physics of waves, right? It's like a second, third order effect. It's like very interesting.
It is.
Even if we talk about, let's say, switching back, let's talk about application layer, right? I would highly encourage people to understand how to iterate. And now the quality is moved from execution, like typing and like, low throughput experimentation to high throughput experimentation, right? So the quality that will get retained is taste, like nuance, taste, gut feel, call it whatever. Are you able to like direct your experimentation, direct your usage of these LLMs to get your productivity off the roof, right? So can I, like, right now you and I can sit here and like just prompt LLM to generate an entire landing page, right? So can I just iterate on top of my ideas, exhaust all the ideas, like, play around with that entire space, get very fluent with how to really double, triple, or like 10x productivity with the tools that are there in the market. I think that will be the differentiator. Very important to be very curious and like just go after your curiosity. Now you have these tools. It's just amazing the time and period we are in.
Yeah. Is that what you would suggest, like anyone who's younger, who's looking at, uh, doing either design or coding or something along those paths? Is that your recommendation to anyone who's getting into those fields as a fresher? Would that be your recommendation there?
100%, right? So think of it this way: you still need to have first principles way of thinking,
Got it.
foundational understanding of the foundational components. As long as you have that, just if you have, you should be AI native, right? All of these tools exists for a reason, right? I mean, if somebody came and told you in 2012, 13, just don't use Excel, right? It makes no sense. Correct. Right? But that doesn't mean you don't understand arithmetic itself, right? You need to understand foundations and all of that, but use the tools that are available to your disposal to just boost productivity. That's how humans have done for centuries now. That's a phenomenal way of putting it. I mean, like, the current thought process everywhere is AI is going to take your job. So I think that answers that very cleverly, that it is a part. So it might take away the basic arithmetic stuff, but it's never going to take away the more creme de la creme, which is required for a better execution. 100%, right? Like this entire topic of AI taking jobs, and I feel it's see, nobody knows the future. Everybody claiming to is probably trying to make money off you. So the way to really approach this is fundamentally be curious, be adaptable. If you have these two qualities, I think however the world shapes, you should be able to come out of it successful, right? So curiosity, I think, is just P0. You really need to be curious enough to explore things. Don't be averse to things like there's like always this phenomenon where people get averse, like, hey, this is such I'm so scared of this technology that I'm not going to try it. Right? I feel that's the negative side of things, right? You need to like embrace it, figure out how you can like get much better. All the things that you would wanted to do now is possible. So make it happen. Yeah, fair enough. And now, like going into the hackathon, this thing, I think right now we have given the participants about 16 challenges, one of which is an open challenge. You can solve any problem that you like. Are there any 2 or 3 problems that you are most excited for participants to solve? Interesting. So, I actually want to answer why hackathon itself. Right? Okay. I think it's fundamentally important that we address why we are even doing this and then go into the problems, right? So, we fundamentally believe at Equity that talent is evenly distributed, opportunities are not. So, what that means is you could go to tier 2, tier 3, wherever in the world, you'll find highly intelligent, first principles thinkers, like really creative, really smart people. So, talent is like very evenly distributed. However, opportunities are not, right? The opportunity is not finding them. So, what we want to do here is by doing this hackathon, we want to be able to show people what's possible, right? Got it. Just it's like that quickest mile, right? When somebody ran the fastest mile, that just unlocked everything, and then everybody else crushed the record like insanely fast, right? So it's about showing that like what's actually possible. We want the builders to come in and build AI native, right? Now, to come to your question about the 16 challenges, so the biggest challenge of a hackathon is to pick a problem statement to solve. So we thought maybe since we are doing it, we're conducting the hackathon where it's AI native, we want people to experience the productivity gain. So we have kept it around 15 hours. And one of the decision making we wanted to remove from the participants and give them a platform or a set of problems where we have defined the problem, told what are the key metrics of evaluation here, how do you solve it. We've given all a good chunk of the thinking we have done on that, And what we are looking at are people able to understand the patterns in this, pick up various connections between all of this, go all in with AI and like just get it built very quickly, ship something very quick. That's what matters, right? So that is the intention of actually providing 16 or 15 problem
Correct.
statements. Of course, the 16th one is my most favorite. It's because if you really find something, there's a gap, and the best way to actually become good at all of this is to solve your own problems.
Correct.
So let's say you face some problems by yours that you're seeing in your day to day, or you're seeing in your community, or in your college, school, or workplace, wherever it is, right? Start with those problems, solve something, right? And build a lot of tools using all this. And I think that's the most encouraged, the 16th problem statement. Otherwise, like anything, there's like a lot of problem statements on healthcare, there are a lot of problem statements on productivity itself, right? Like, so I think that'll be my order. First is the 16th one, then healthcare, and then productivity.
And if you were to be a participant in the hackathon, what would be a problem statement that you would want to solve?
Interesting. I have been always trying, like, this is something I've been building on the side as well for myself, is to get a digital twin, right? So when I was just computing, a lot of my responses were like very low touch point activities, right? So what I mean by that is like, hey, how do I do XYZ? Hey, I'm blocked on K. Can you help me out, right? And this repeats because we are continuously hiring new people, interacting with a lot of other people. So if I could capture a lot of these nuances in a way where the first layer, there's an agent that's just responding and taking care of a lot of things, and then it comes to me. That I think would be a very, very interesting topic, and I'm pretty sure you would also prefer to have something like that with you, right?
Yeah.
Omni-channel, like on WhatsApp, on Telegram, on Slack, on everywhere, right? It's just present, just being you, right? Understands what you do, low touch point, it handles to you, and just escalates the things that actually need your mind
Fair
space.
enough.
So you have a lot of mind space for then creative stuff.
Yeah. So basically like a customer service agent, but for your employees instead of customers.
Not really. It's a better way to think about. I still want to give a great experience to
Correct,
everybody
of
who's
course.
interacting with me. So a digital twin will be a better
Understood.
because
Fair
I
enough.
wanted to be able to respond the way I respond,
Yeah.
right? Not a mechanical one, right? And at the same time, I don't want the receiving party to be fooled or think that they're getting a response from. I want to be very transparent about it as well, right? And yeah, I think that's something I would have taken up and built, because it'll just solve a bunch of stuff for me anyways.
Fair enough. And what is the one hackathon moment you're really looking forward to, or one hackathon moment that you're very glad has happened or that you were very excited about?
Oh yeah. So I think I'm always for foundational, fundamental things, right? And what I'm noticing is all the college kids, all the college students are AI native. And this was my hunch, and I was able to see it today. What do I mean by AI native? Seems like a very overloaded word, right? What I mean by that is they have an idea. They're using these LLMs to build an iterate on it and checkpointing themselves at every point, right? So somebody can go all the way from knowing very keyword buzzword kind of a thing to becoming a semi-expert in something in a span of few hours. And the smart ones are able to checkpoint themselves, meaning they understand something, leapfrog with AI, catch up fundamentally from first principles, then leapfrog again, and then so this is the first checkpoint where AI, they don't ask it to generate everything, right?
Yeah.
They know till where they can absorb and like build on top of. They go there, and then from there they make the next jump. This was just a hypothesis, and like I felt how I would have approached it. It's super fun to see almost all of the participants who are pretty young in college do this very fluently, very, very. That's one of the outcomes that I really liked. And the second outcome is, the second hunch I had was that, okay, now without understanding a lot of nuances, having a lot of experience, people should be able to build out solutions at least to a point wherein it's a POC, proof of concept, right? And that's also coming out true, right? Like, I think what we are 8 hours in,
Mm-hmm.
and we can already see shapes of solutions emerge,
Yeah.
right? Which are being used, which are already in a state where it's going to get demoable in a couple of hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the second hunch that productivity is 100% increased, right? I can see that right now. The same hackathon, let's say 5 years ago, we would see some form of solution approach maybe 12, 15 hours into the hackathon. So
Got it.
it's interesting to see these two phenomena.
And if you had to describe the entire hackathon that has happened in one word, what would that word be?
I would say future, as in this is the future of building. This is the future of how we explore ideas, how we generate new content. This is how it is going to be, and the tools are still not fully polished, and it's getting there. But the glimpses are there. I think it's the writing is on the wall. We should see like really good outcomes in productivity throughout.
Perfect. Okay, we'll move on to the last segment.
Sure.
Basically, it's rapid fire. I'll ask you a few questions. You can answer in one word to one sentence. No need to go too deep unless there's something that you actually want to talk about.
Sure.
Then we can talk about that. So, firstly, overrated, underrated. AI is replacing jobs.
Interesting. I think it's underrated. I feel it will change jobs.
Okay, cool. What is one AI tool that you personally cannot live without?
I built a few agents for myself that actually help me keep track of all the work that needs to be done, reminds me, gives me status updates, pings people, etc. Does a bunch of things. So, of course, it runs on LLMs like your Gemini's and OpenAI's. But I would say the tool that I built, I think that's at this point, I've like just relying on it too much.
Got it. And in 5 years, AI will be doing dash.
Oh, very interesting. AI will be doing what? It'll be, I would say, it'll be creating a lot of productivity, and people who are using it the right way will actually genuinely enjoy working, or it'll automate so much stuff that they have time to do what they like.
One thing about AI that you wish more people knew about.
Yeah, it is. I feel it's like any technological progress. It's here to stay. It's going to change lives. It's going to change the way you work, the way you think. It's going to change pretty much every aspect of how you've been with respect to your productivity, with respect to your creativity. So it is here. It's going to change, but not as drastic and as fast as people put it out to be.
Perfect. That's it. That's all I
Amazing.
have.
Thank you so much, Prakriti, for this.
Thank you.
All right.